You know, these scammers just don't get it. They send me emails every week, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. And they're posing to be my web carrier for my emails. But what they don't understand is that my email address is no longer carried by the original webmail carrier, which, I'm not going to reveal who that is because they might see this video. But they send emails stating that I had made a request to have my account deactivated, which I never did. Why would I put in a request to have my email address activated? That makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no sense whatsoever. So, but they say in there that your request has been accepted, but if you didn't make this request, you need to click on this link. It's a phishing scam, people. It's how they try to get you to click their link so that they can hack into your email account. And they don't get it. Then I know this. I'm too smart for that. What's kind of funny though is I've been getting emails saying unusual activity on my email account, and the keyword is unusual. And I check my email every day. Sometimes I'm looking at, through my tablet here, that, I look at the email where it allows me, without opening the email, to check to see, like the first line of what the mail would say. And the ones about the unusual activity would say, login attempt blocked. But here's the thing about that. I think it was late last week or slightly a little bit, maybe the week before that, like toward the end of the week. I can't remember what day exactly. But my webmail carrier would not allow me into my email, or would not allow me to have access to my email unless I changed the password, which I thought was kind of odd, and so I did. I changed it. But ever since I changed my email address, I started to think, was my email account hacked before? Because why all of a sudden would I get emails all the time saying unusual activity on your email account? It just seemed funny to me. And by funny, I don't mean funny as in laugh. I mean funny as in weird, strange. Maybe it's some form of coincidence. And I do appreciate my mail carrier basically blocking me from getting into my email account. So, unless I change the password, which I did. And then now it just seems like ever since I've done that, the scam emails have been ramping up. So, people don't, you can't get a virus just for opening an email. There was a time that you could do that, but that's not the case in today's world. So, I wish these scammers would just give it up, but then again, maybe they should just keep it up, because I'm getting quite amused at their stupidity. Try and say might. Try and say might. So, I'm laughing at them because they're wasting their time. And you would hope that maybe one day they will wake up and say, why did I spend my time doing this? You know, I wasn't getting responses half the time. I could have been doing something better with my time while on this earth. But they're not thinking of that. They're only thinking about this. Money. That's all they think about. So, but there's that. So, you know, people, when you get emails that look suspicious, like I said, you can't get a virus just for looking at an email, but you can get a virus if you click on the links that are sent. So be careful. It doesn't matter to me if they know I opened the mail they sent me or not, because, well, you know, what could they do? Put a virus on my computer, I would have to click on a link to basically let them intrude into my home, which would be the computer. But why would I want to do that? This computer is what gets me through my daily life. I use it for various reasons. I use it for Minecraft. I use it to watch YouTube videos. I use it for Bible study. I use it to, you know, listen to music. So, you know, I have all these different uses that I have for my computer, and it's what gets me through the day. It's kind of like my therapy, because without it, I, you know, probably would go insane. But so that's the first portion of this email. The second thing I want to talk about is sovereign citizens. You know, I was thinking about how some of these videos that I've seen, and I started to wonder, were my parents sovereign citizens? And I say this because they used to preach to me when I was a kid. If a cop asks you questions, you don't have to answer it. They may try to force you to answer questions, but don't answer their questions. And now here I am, you know, in the prime of my life. By prime, I mean mid-age. The days of me being able to get around on my own as far as walking and walking long distance and whatnot, those days are over. I can't do that anymore. So, yeah. Wow. That's sitting there thinking, why did I bring up about, well, you know, it has to do with the fact that I'm I'm not a driver, but, I guess I should be going to bed, getting a little sleepy here. Bear with me, people. Anyway, you know, the reason my parents, would preach to me that, you know, not to ever talk to cops. So, you know, they would say, you know, like, don't talk to them, you don't have to answer a question, you know, just go on your way, you know. But in this day and age, well, I know what I was talking about, because I said, you know, me having that energy of walking around and everything, referring to me getting old, basically. That's where my mind got lost there for a moment here in the video. But anyway, after I've seen all these videos where you have people saying, when you're being questioned by police officers, mostly at traffic stop, you have the sovereign citizens that would say, I don't answer questions. So that had me thinking about my parents, how they would try to coach me not to talk to police officers. But the thing of it is that in today's society, I actually support our law enforcement. I support the hard work that they do to keep our community safe. My mom is kind of mellowed out a little bit. She doesn't have a problem with me talking to police officers. My dad, on the other hand, tells me every time I talk to a police officer that I have no moral ethics. And this is because he's always hated cops. And I told him, I said, well, you wouldn't have a reason to hate cops if you would just stay out of trouble. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything that's obvious to them. Or they're going to come knocking on your door and they're going to haul you to jail. Simple as that. But, no. My dad wants to do what he wants to do, and, he is going to be 60 next year, so, you would hope that, being at that age, he would finally wise up and give up all of that. The smoking, the drinking, and he tells me he's not doing drugs anymore, and I would like to believe that, but my dad has been in and out of prison pretty much all my life. More than 50% of it, I would have to say. And that should tell you something. That I didn't have the fatherly influence there was much when I was growing up, because it just seemed like he was always interested in getting in trouble, doing what he wants to, and not care what other people think. But that's where I'm the opposite. I do feel like sometimes what people think of me, and I shouldn't, and I get that. But that's human nature, there are certain people that I can say, meh, I don't care what they think of me, because it's what it is. So that's what got me thinking, are my parents sovereign citizens, or were they sovereign citizens at one point? I don't know. But I don't have a problem showing an officer my ID. We have to pay taxes, but they believe that you don't. You have to have license to drive on the road, but they believe that you don't. But the truth is, everybody's gonna have some kind of form of identification. Everybody's got to pay taxes at some point. They say there's only two things you can never avoid: taxes and death. That's it. So, but don't tell sovereign citizens that. They don't want to hear it. They always try to invoke the Constitution. What I think about the Second Amendment, I think. Trying to tell officers that, that they're not going to be impeded in their process of being in pursuit to happiness. Well, so let's get the facts straight here. Yeah, you need a license to operate the vehicle that you're in, so that you're traveling in. But here's the thing. If you're going to operate that vehicle, even if you aren't just traveling, you still have to have a license to do that. Otherwise, if you didn't, any Joe Schmuck could go out there, get a car, and get into an accident, and then guess what? It would be turned out he wasn't licensed to drive. Period. Yeah, we do have the right to remain silent, but what you don't have the right to do is hide your identity. You have to notify the officers who you are. You have to have registration and insurance, and your cars need to be registered. There was a video I seen the other day. I think it's from about Van Balian or something like that. This was after I got done seeing a video by Degeneration Nation. And I tell you, some of these sovereign citizens would just make you go cuckoo, cuckoo. Well, in my case, it makes me feel like I lost a couple IQ points and lost a few brain cells in the process, because that's time you'll never get back. But there's a bit, a video that you gotta have your card registered. But there was a card that sovereign citizen had in the state of California who did not have his card registered, so it was towed, and yet he called 911 to report that his vehicle was stolen when it wasn't. It was legally towed away to an impound, and then refused to give the officer his name. Basically told the officer not to talk to his wife. Some of you viewers might know what the video I'm talking about is. But no, and what even amused me more was he wanted to involve the Pope. As if the Pope had some kind of jurisdiction over him and not our laws, but here's the thing, these contracts you talk about, when you're born here in this city, you're issued your social security number, as some sovereign citizens claim that they don't have. You're given you're given everything you needed to identify you when you're born. You're given your social security number. You're given your birth certificate, although your social security number and birth certificate is more likely to go to your parents. Well, not more likely, will go to your parents, unless you're given up for an adoption. Then it goes to the adoption. Pretty good example. There was another one I watched, and this was from Degeneration Nation, where this guy kept calling, and he was harassing Chase Bank, I think in Arizona. And when the one lady said, well, I'll have my manager call you back when she gets back. And then the guy saying, no, there's no gender, you're oath takers. You can't have a gender. You can't be male or female because you took an oath. Because he wanted to, what he was trying to do was trying to open up a bank account that would not be government property, that he would not need to provide social security number and everything. What the goofball didn't know is that you have to do this. There's no bank institution out there that would say, oh, you don't have a social security number? Okay, sure, yeah, well, we get a bank account, you don't have a social security number. Okay, that's not going to how that works. So, that is just, sometimes you just can't tell these people anything. They're going to, but that's what it is. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Tell me what you think, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Maybe I might live stream.